We got to give ourselves time to feel ourselves, to sense ourselves. When's the last time you sensed yourself? And if you think back, and the last time you sensed yourself, what you sensed was fear. That wasn't you. That was a upload from a prior download or some shit that you weren't even supposed to consume in the first place. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Y'all taking care of yourselves? You know, you're doing what's necessary. You know, y'all following your personal protocol. I'll make a video on that. Following your personal protocol. You gotta have a personal protocol. You know, you gotta have a checklist, an itinerary. I mean, you don't have to. You really don't have to. It helps when you're trying to heal. You feel me? You know, that's what we're trying to do here. We just want to heal. You know, taking things so damn serious. That's you're hardening your heart. You know, when you take things so serious. The idea is just to experience bars, real talk. But yeah, I hope everybody doing good. You know what I'm saying? Taking care of themselves by any means necessary. You know, I took a bit of a personal sabbatical. Yeah, I think that's the right word. Sabbatical. I think that's like derived from the Sabbath, right? And motherfuckers, they took like, what was it, Saturday or some shit, to not work, not do anything, and to just, I guess, reflect on their God or whatever. So I did the same thing in my sabbatical, you know, reflect on me, my inner God, you know, make sure I tend to my needs. You know, it's very important. It's very important to, I guess in a sense, worship yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gotta worship yourself. And words, I always talk about how words be so, they're just spells, you know? They're just spells. We really don't really fully digest words that we use and how we use them, what they really mean, or what they really mean to us, or what we're trying to, you know, put out there as a message in regards to the words that we're using. But words are so subjective, and with that being one of the major fallacies of words, it's really hard to you gotta really feel me, you know what I'm saying? You gotta feel the person that you're talking to more than you're hearing the person that you're talking to. And don't get me wrong, it's very important to hear, but words don't do what you feel justice. You know, I'm fed up with words. Words got me in a lot of trouble my whole life, you know. And then words attached with emotion, you know, that's a whole different monster, you know. Like when you know, how many arguments have you had? I'll tell you, I don't want to say arguments, but I've had quite a few misunderstandings due to the fact of how a text message is interpreted or an email is interpreted because of words. And then you conjure up the emotion that you think is behind this message, and then you come up with this convoluted scenario that you attach yourself to. And I did that shit so many times. Got me in a lot of trouble. I mean, trouble. But, you know, pick your words wisely. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I've been on a bit of a sabbatical. Kind of, I wanted to kind of test myself in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like, how real am I? You know, put myself through the fire, give myself some tasks, some goals, some short-term goals to reach, you know, and just to see if I was up to the challenge, you know what I'm saying? because it's very important to put your money where your mouth is, quote unquote, and prove things to yourself, you know, because nobody else fucking matters. We put too much investment in the opinions of other people, the point of views of other people, so on and so forth. And at the end of the day, I'll say a lot of times, it's like we born by ourselves, we experience by ourselves, and then we die by ourselves. Even if you're twins, you die by yourself. Even if you're Siamese twins, you die by yourself, you know? So all the time that we waste during our waking moments, which bleeds into our sleeping time, you know, merging other people's beliefs and thoughts and angles, all that shit, it's pointless. It's pointless. It just takes you off of your path. It takes you off of the purpose that you're actually here for. So the experience is to live vicariously through yourself. You know, that's the idea, to live vicariously through yourself. Anyways, with that being said, I did want to talk a little bit about something that's been in my head for the last couple of days. Because I have been, actually I want to drop a video about the nutritional changes that I made in my life. Just really what I embarked on these changes just as a bit of an experiment, you know? Just be like, well, you know, how fast can my proverbial car, meaning my body, go? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, these last couple of days, I've been thinking about the term or the phrase or the saying, you are what you eat, you know? And like, I remember saying that shit a lot, or hearing that shit a lot when I was younger as a kid, you know? And you are what you eat, you know what I'm saying? Especially in regards, I was a chubby kid, you know? Growing up, I was pretty chubby. And so, how I took it when I heard you are what you eat, it was like, man, you call me a piece of cake right now? You know, it's like, damn. You know, you are you eat. And then it kind of morphed as I got older as to an understanding of, you know, what you put in your body, you know, is going to be the indication of the type of physical results you're able to produce due to what you put into your body. And that made kind of, you know, that made sense a little bit. But when I think of it now, you know, you are what you eat. And I think about what eating means, you know, it takes on a whole different monster. And monsters aren't bad. I mean, they can be if that's how you choose to perceive them, but it turns them into a whole different type of monster. It turns that phrase, you are what you eat, because we have to remember that eat, in a way, doesn't just reside in the avenue of what you put in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Eat means to consume. You know what I'm saying? To consume. And we just look that shit up. I was looking at this shit earlier, trying to jog around a little bit before I made the video, but alright. So what I did was I looked up, you know, because again, words don't do what you feel true justice, right? So sometimes I'll say something and you may think I mean one thing, but I mean something completely. Like synonyms are a motherfucker, you know? And so I want to kind of break down why you are what you eat is way more than just, you know, what's in your plate, what's on your plate, you know, what you consume and digest, you know, through your mouth. So looking it up, it says eat, right? It's a lot of different definitions. I'll read them all. You got bother or annoy. You have perform fellatio or cunnilingus. 2021, y'all. 2021 definitions. And then you got absorb, to absorb, right? And then I went through and I wanted to look at some other synonyms, and you got attack or bite or chew or dine or feed. They try to play with you. They try to play with you so you don't pay attention to the fact that it's more than just what you put in your mouth. And then finally you get to a word like ingest. And I'm like, all right, finally I can fuck with ingest. I can work with ingest. I can break ingest down. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended. And then we go on to the definition of ingest. And then so with the definition of ingest, one is to take food, drink, or another substance into your body by swallowing or absorbing it. The second definition would be absorb, and then in parentheses, if you can see this, hopefully you can, it says information. All right. So we went from eat to ingest to absorb. All right. So then we'll look up absorb. And then so with absorb, it says to take in or soak up energy or a liquid or other substance by chemical or physical action. Also it says take up the attention of someone, interest greatly. Absorb. All right. So we went from just the idea of eat being putting something in your mouth, to ingesting something, to absorbing something, right? And then we get to the idea that absorbing something is the intake of energy, right? So we run it back to you are what you eat. Again, you are what you intake energetically. If you eat electric things or live things, I'm not talking about animals, electric things, plants, then you receive that type of energy, and you're able to produce using that type of energy, be able to create using that type of energy, right? So when you eat a poor diet, you're more tired, you're maybe stressed out, you might break out in acne, you're definitely gaining weight, all these things that we call negative qualities, negative traits, negative results, right? Or side effects. So moving on, if we eat, again, those greens, those live electric alkaline type foods, right? Where our body can break that down a lot easier, a lot faster, which allows us to have a lot more energy left over to do more physical things in our 3D reality, you know, but we're not spending all the time, our body, I should say, is not spending all this energy breaking down food that's really hard for the body to be able to do. So anyway, that's just eating, right? But we have to keep in mind that everything that we consume has to do with what we taste, what we smell, what we see, what we hear, what we touch, okay? And to be quite honest, it's all vibration. All of our experiences, all the things that we interact with, it's all vibration. Everything vibrates. If you're one of them people that needs a famous person's, you know, I guess, past, or, you know, to be able to believe something, even Albert Einstein said that. Tesla talked about how, you know, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So everything vibrates. Everything is energy. Everything has a frequency. You know what I'm saying? You can't see anything without light. Light is a frequency. You see what I'm saying? You can't hear anything if something doesn't vibrate. You know what I'm saying? And bounce into your eardrum, or however the inner ear canal, or whatever the fuck it works. Something has to vibrate in order for you to hear something. You know what I'm saying? you're touching. If you're touching something, everything vibrates. So obviously these two things right now are vibrating. This is why I can touch it. So all of those experiences are parts and relates to consumption. All right? So when we take the term "you are what you eat" and then we break it down and apply that to all of our senses, then we can kind of break down and really evaluate who we really are, how we really feel. What exactly are you truly consuming? What are you eating? You know what I'm saying? What are you watching? What are you listening to? And what we'll come to realize is a lot of the reason why we feel the way we feel, whether it be negative or positive, is due to decisions that we choose to make. You know? Senses that we choose to entertain. And all of that experiencing, all of that learning, all of that touching of vibrations become memories. And depending on how you felt during that moment, they become emotional memories. And we have memories so that we can kind of store information to be able to use for future interactions. And really, it's all about self-preservation. So I say all of that to say, if what you're consuming are things like negative information all the time, whether it be from media, whether it be from your friends, whether it be from your family, all of that stuff gets stored. All of that stuff is part of eating. All of that stuff is part of nourishment for your body. And there's a big difference between nourishing yourself with water or nourishing yourself with soda. Then you got the music. And the music is bullshit. Well, not all of it, but the popular music. At least the shit I used to listen to, the shit I used to write. Negative music. Manifesting bullshit. I don't get the fuck. Fact of the matter is, you are what you eat is more than just the food on your plate. You are what you eat has to do with what you consume. If you're depressed, let's say you broke up with someone that you've been with for a long time, how many of us go and run and play all the saddest R&B tracks that we can remember? We consume those type of vibrations. Lower vibrations, lower frequencies. And we find comfort in that. So we're consuming comfort food, right? But it's not good for our mental body. It's not healthy for our mental body. You gotta pay attention to what you eat at all times. You gotta think of it as someone that's really trying to be in the fitness, you know. And of course, you know, everybody has cheat days. That's on you. You know, that, to be quite honest, this whole entire conversation that I'm trying to have is truly on you. You know, if it's resonating, then I'm glad, you know, because these are things that I deal with to this day. You know? But it's like we can't just kind of minimalize, is that the word? Certain things in order for it to make it easier for us to deal with. In other words, just considering you are what you eat, just in regards to the taste senses. You get what I'm saying? Words, fuck. But it's like, it's more than that. It's what am I watching on TV? What type of movies am I watching? What type of, and it's like, people like, oh yeah, you know, you're being, you know, so old-fashioned, or you're being whatever the case may be. It's not about that. It's about taking responsibility for how you feel, and then like controlling that, controlling what comes into your environment. The whole idea is mental health. The whole idea is healing. And I'll say it so many times, like how serious are you taking healing? It's not a joke. It's not a game. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you already know that, you know? And they play this idea and they get it stuck in our head that there's just like one particular way to get it right, or to reach happiness, or just a few or a handful of ways to do it. If there were only a handful of ways to do it, it's only because you haven't come up with your own way. And only a handful of people have ever done it. Like, I got tips, I have tools, I have information that I can share with you. And it may work for you, it may not work for you. But the goal is to try to get ourselves in a mind frame to where we're taking our mental health serious. Because once we take care of that, once we make that our focus, then everything else that we interact with benefits. I've said it before. You have to be selfish. What are you consuming? What type of music are you listening to? What type of people do you have around you? Are they supportive people? Are they doing things with their life? Are they setting good examples for you? We think that these little adages and sayings and rules or guidelines that our parents used to tell us, or our teachers used to tell us, you know what I'm saying, about our friends and who you keep around your circle and all that stuff, like that ends once you reach a certain age, and you know, now you know it all, so you know you can make any type of decisions you want and then deal with the consequences, if any, later. That's how kids deal with shit. You're going about it the wrong way if what you're seeking is peace upstairs, but downstairs is just chaos. You can't even make it upstairs to find that peace because you're lost in the chaos. And it's all chaos that we just left unattended. We gotta take care of downstairs. We gotta take care of the house before we can get to the attic. And you gotta take that shit serious. And I remember I used to sit there and watch that hoarder show from time to time. You know what I'm saying? My mom was a bit of a hoarder in her latter years of living. And I would watch that show, and I would just see all these people just keep things, and they love these things. Like, they love them. And they could be like, it could be so much stuff in their house that they can't even get across the house, or they hurt themselves trying to get across the house. But when their family comes in and then they have an intervention, or they get to the point to where they're ready to start, you know, breaking some shit down and getting some shit out the house, you know, it's like pulling teeth. And we watch that and we're like, damn, I can't imagine being like that. I can't imagine going through that. I can't imagine someone in my family being like that, or, you know, or even, oh man, I can imagine having some shit that I wanted to keep, but people told me I had to get rid of. But in reality, you don't have to imagine. You are already a hoarder. You're hoarding all of this negative energy. You're keeping it, and you're holding it so close and for so long that you've started to fall in love with it. It's become a part of you. You know, like, Like the people that stay in bed like for too long, the bed will fuse with their skin. Or someone on the toilet seat too long, same shit. We fuse with these negative memories, we fuse with these negative emotions, we fuse with this negative energy. We become a part of it, and it becomes a part of us. And that's what we consume on a daily basis, becoming it. You are what you eat is something that we gotta keep in a dome piece. Remember that. It's not just about food, although that's very important, you know, to those that want to make it important. But on that journey towards, fuck, I don't even know what you want to call it, peace, I guess, whatever it is that you're trying to attain, mentally speaking, we gotta guard our senses. We gotta protect our senses. We gotta give ourselves time to feel ourselves, to sense ourselves. When's the last time you sensed yourself? And if you think back, and the last time you sensed yourself, what you sensed was fear. That wasn't true. That was a upload from a prior download or some shit that you weren't even supposed to consume in the first place. Be mindful of what you eat. You know what I'm saying? I'll holler at y'all. Be good. Every time I'm about to record, somebody gotta make a noise somewhere.